So I see it did it best for this particular one, and then it's going to take a while for this one to generate the UI for us. Okay, so yeah, so this is just something simple that you can do on your free time. Okay, so does anyone have any question on what I just shared? Hello, does anyone have any question?
Hello, feel free to ask any questions if you have one.
Please, my question is, so if you don't know the sketch, you can't just draw anything and send it there.
Yeah, you can draw, but what will happen is the machine or the AI wouldn't be able to understand what like you are trying to achieve. Okay, so your sketch is supposed to be a guide, which is why Visit comes with a sketch guide. It comes with a sketch guide that you look onto that guide to know how to represent, let's say, an image. So the first session, Jacqueline showed you like a box, and then if you put a cross in between or like two diagonal lines from one end, okay, it represents an image. Okay, so when the machine sees that kind of box or that kind of sketch, it would know that you want to actually represent this part of your UI as an image, or this part as a button, this part as a checkbox, and the likes.
Kelvin,
Okay, so
someone wrote
after,
a question in the text.
they said
The
after the
chat.
prototype, how will you use Visit to do the high fidelity mockup? Okay, so when you do your sketch, Visit, let me just share the Visit. Okay, so with the Visit interface, okay, so there's a Visit interface, and let's say you choose this project. So this project, let's choose for it to load. It's not a final project, it was something I was trying yesterday, but you have the ability to, let me see. So let's say this is the wireframe of this project. Okay, this is the wireframe. So after doing your prototype, this isn't now the prototype. You can use the tools here to actually add more functionalities or more components or views or interesting things to your projects. Okay, so you have the images as I demonstrated earlier. They can upload from your computer. Also, we have let's say themes. Okay, one thing Visit does is let's say if you come here, create theme. What happens is you can actually take an image from your computer. That's if you want creating from an image, so you can drag or you can click here and then pick an image from your computer. Or you have you've seen a picture or an image and then you like the way the colors and like the text all work. What you can do, you can click on this link, okay, and then look for any. You can use the title, let's say test, and then look for any link, and then paste this here. So let me see. Let me just look for. Let me look for a website. Big website. Let's see. Let's go to Dribble. I'll go to Dribble, and then I'm going to select. Let me select this. Let me select this. Copy image link of image address. Then I'm going to Visit. Then I'm going to paste it here. And then let's see if it will generate, like it will pick that through for my project. Okay, so I'm going to click on create. And then let's wait for it to do its magic. So you can do high fidelity as I explained, like just by adding components and then images instead of sketches. Let's see, did I answer your question?
Was it Betty?
Okay, so if you think you like what it's about to do, you click on switch theme. As you can see, it has taken the dark theme from the link that I just copied. If you also have an image, you can upload that image. And it's not only the colors that will pick, it will pick the text. Okay, so if you use a bold font size, it would use that one too. If the link comes with a bold font size, it will use that link, that particular font size. And that's something smart. So if you don't like it, you can switch back to your theme from here. So this is something that you should do. You can look out for. You can preview your work here. And then since I've not, since I've not mapped the components, like I've not mapped the screens or joined the screens, like connecting them, I'm not able to switch from one screen to the other. I can do that using this interact. So let's see if I click on OK. And I'm going to map the OK to this screen. And let's see if I click on, let's see, profile. If I click on profile, I'm going to map profile to this screen. So let's go to preview. Then I'm going to click OK. So OK is going to take me to the screen, and the other, I think I use profile. The profile will take me to the screen. So it should be noted that we are not only going to project like maybe subsequent projects of the life. You might switch to Figma or other UI/UX projects like softwares. Okay, so this is just an intro with this particular software, and that's good. So let's see. Jacqueline, would you want to take over from here? I think I've gone through most of them.
Okay, go. But before that, is everyone like, has everyone opened this, or does everyone have an account here?
Okay, let me answer this. Rabi says, so how do we get the platform software that you are working on right now? In the WhatsApp group, I shared the visit link. Okay, could someone reshare the visit link with the person?
The person could just put it here too in the messages screen.
What we can also do is we can just proceed, okay, and your free time. So in order for us not to waste time, Jacqueline can just proceed. Your free time when I'm done editing the video. I hope Jacqueline is recording. And
This thing.
yes, you forgot.
I'm recording. I'm actually recording.
And then after editing, I'll upload it to either YouTube or any other platform. And I'll share the link to the class. So then you can practice. So Jacqueline, you can take over from here.
All right. Thank you very much, Kelvin, for the assistance. Okay, so moving on. So as I said earlier, the last image we saw in my slides, we are going to design that here, which was the hotel booking, a simple hotel booking application. So let me share my screen. A minute, please.
Okay, so while we wait on Jacqueline, after the session, okay, a post evaluation form will be shared with you guys to the form, like you fill that form, and then it's just for us to know, like, if you understood something or maybe anything you want to be improved in the software. Any other thing that the form demands of you. So we can fill it as frank as possible, so that we know like you get the best feedback.
Okay. Alright, so I'll share my Okay, can everyone see my screen? Hello?
I can see your screen.
Okay, so this is what we are going to be designing in Wizard. We designed a simple hotel booking app. Okay, so to Wizard, can you see my screen? Okay, so I'm assuming you can see my screen. So I'll go on to create the new project.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
So yeah, I'll tap on the plus icon, which will give me some options as Kelvin showed earlier or demonstrated earlier. In my case, I'm going to select the blank project. Let me see. Okay, let me choose productivity app here. Let's see how it goes. There's an error. Okay, good. So now we've created our project. I'm going to rename the project Hotel Booking App. So app. Then this will be our home screen. Okay, so we'll go back to look at our design. We realize that the first screen has a dark background, very dark background. So I'm going to, we already have a dark background here. But I'm going to try and see if I can make it darker. So our background is really dark now. In case you're wondering what I did, I have my screen selected and I moved my mouse to the panel on my right where I see the build tab, interact and comment. I'm currently on the build tab. So I just tap the screen to change the background there. Okay. Let me see what we have to do next. What happened? Okay, so we can also see that we have text on here, which is find your best hotel. So we are going to do that. After the text, we have a search input. We are going to first implement the text, then we'll do the search. Okay, so I go to my text tool, I tap on it, and then it gives me options. So let me look to see which one best suits what I want to do. Okay, I think I'll go for H1, which means heading 1. Okay. That's it. Yeah, find your best hotel. As I'm doing this, if you don't understand anything, you can prompt me and I'll explain. Hotel. Okay. I can make this a bit bigger. Okay, so I go to the text side and make this really big. Okay. Let's do something. I want to bring the image here so that we don't go out to keep looking at the picture. So let me save it and then upload it. This is an issue. Seems like it's taking time. Okay.
Okay, Jacqueline, so if it's taking time, what you could do is you can just use the templates that are available.
Yeah, so
or you can, I think it allows you to type inside and see if you get hotel. Just
okay, so this is the image. I'm sure you can see it. Calvin, you can see this, right? I was trying to import this into Wizard, but then it seems like it's taking too much time. So I guess I'll just be switching in between tabs. So it has find your best hotel, and then after that we have the search bar. Okay, so let me reduce the size of this a bit. I go to the size side under the text. I think this is okay. Okay. So the next thing I'll do is bring the search bar down there. Okay. So I want a search bar. So I'll go to the form side. I think I'll get yeah. I'll go to the form side and then select input field. As I tap on it, you realize that it creates an input field in my design area for me, which is my home screen. So I'll pull it up here, right? And then I'll just type, this is a placeholder, right? So I'll type search hotel as my placeholder. It's not in the original design, but it makes things easier for the user. So search hotel. Okay. So I could change these properties a bit. You realize that this is darker as well. So it's hard to actually, it doesn't really pop like that because of contrast, as I said earlier on. So I'll extend the length. Yeah. Make it a bit longer. And then change the color a bit. Make it a bit more noticeable. Okay, this is the color of the text. Yeah. So to find the color of the fill, I actually have to scroll down here to go to style, right? So I'm changing the color to make it a bit more. I'm trying to change the color here, make it a bit more noticeable here. But I'm having a bit of a challenge. Okay, I'll leave it at white and I'll change in order for you to see the text color, I'll change that to black or closer to black. Okay, so continue. We have our text on here, and then we have let me make this a bit, we have a search bar with the text inside. Let's go to what we are designing to. Oh, sorry, I mistakenly stopped sharing my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen? Okay, I'm assuming you can all see my screen. So back to the hotel. We've done the find the text and then the search. So now what we are going to do is we are going to add another text which says more popular, and then we'll add the images beneath it. Okay, so text. This time I think I'll just choose paragraph text. Move it here. Type whatever I need to type into this. So most popular. Okay, so we have this here. I think this is a bit too small. I should make it slightly bigger. Okay, and move it slightly away from that. 14. Let me make it. The text size is currently 14. So yeah, I've made it 15 now. Okay, and push it up a bit. Okay, we are good to go. Now we have our find your best hotel, the search pane, and then the most popular header down here. Okay, let me tap on it and make the visibility slightly. Okay, so to reduce the color intensity a bit, under the text section of the build tab here, I tap on the color side and then you see there are two bars here beneath the big rectangular color thing. So on the second bar, I'll just drag this a bit back a bit to make it less, or I can just change the values here. I hope we are all following. Okay, so I think this is okay for me. The next thing I have to do is to add the images here. So we see there are two images here. So we are going to add these images. Okay, so I'll first, I think this time I'll just go directly to the images, and then we see the different. There's Unsplash plugin here. Unsplash is actually a picture website, but then it seems Wizard has its plugin. So we can just, instead of going to Unsplash website to go and search for an image and download it, you can just use the plugin here and then search for an image. So I'll search for hotel. Yeah. So these are the images I'm getting from hotels. I'll just pick one or two. So I'll pick the first one. Okay. Let me resize the first one first. Make it a bit bigger. As you can see, everything is aligned consistently or similarly. You realize that, oh, what's happening? You realize that it's not just aligned anyhow. I've aligned everything to the left. Okay, so let me arrange the image well properly. Let me look at how this is shaped. It's a bit curved on the sides. Okay, this is a bit curved on the side as well, so I think we are good to go. Okay, so I'll search for my next image. Go to the image 2 on the 2 bar and then search hotel again. I think this time I'll use this image. Okay, so I have my second image. All I have to do is resize it as I did the first one. Let me see. So when you select your element or the image here, you realize that on my my right hand side, it shows the properties. So as you can see at the layout side, which my cursor is currently pointing to, or my mouse is currently pointing to, you see the position values and then the size. So it's currently at a width of 192. So to make sure that the other image has the same width, I'll just copy this width here, 192, and then enter it here. But since they are already the same width, I don't need to do that. But in case you want to make sure that similar elements have the same width and height sizes, you could use this method, which is in my opinion, is easier and faster. Okay, so now we have our images. Okay, I think we need to make our screen longer. So what we are going to do is we'll select our screen. Yes. And then drag it down a bit to make it a bit longer, so that our design will fit into it.
Okay, so one thing you should also know is when you make your screen longer, it allows for scrolling. Okay, so depending on the size of the screen, you can actually scroll. So maybe if time permits, we could demonstrate that at the preview section.
Thank you very much, Kelvin. Okay.
You're welcome.
So yes, back to our image. Yes. Okay, what next? I think we have more text to put here, so we have to put text under the image, and then we have these little circular things beneath it that shows us that this section of the design is scrollable. Okay, so we'll first start with the text. We'll put the text under there. Okay, so I'll go to the text 2, and then once again tap on the text option, and then it drops it on my screen for me. I pull it to the position I want. I want it to be right beneath my image. Let me go back to see what is written here. So I have East Park Hotel. Okay. So instead of East Park, I'll just say Movenpick Hotel. Since you are in Ghana. Okay, so that's it for this image. I was wondering if I could duplicate this, but it seems I can't do that, unfortunately. Okay, so I have to pick another text. Oh yeah, I can duplicate this. All I had to do was just press and hold my Alt option if you are using Windows, or Option if you are using Mac, and then click and drag whatever it is I wanted to duplicate. So the next hotel, what other hotel is there in Accra here? Okay, let me do Accra City Hotel. So we've given them names. The next thing you are going to do is design the small circular things beneath the image description. If you look at it well, you realize there are some small tiny dots down here. We are going to put that in our design. Okay, so this time I'll go to the shape icon and then look for a circle or something close to a circle. Okay, let me see. What's that for me? Okay, I'll choose the hard gray down here and then shape it to whatever I want to shape it into. Unfortunately, I didn't get my circle, so I'll have to resize this to make this smaller, like what we saw in. Okay, I almost have my perfect circle. Okay, I have my circle now, so I'm just going to resize this to make it smaller. Okay, I'm zooming in to see my things, to see this element well, since it's going to have to be smaller. Zoom in a bit. Okay, it's circular enough. It looks a bit too big. Make it slightly smaller. Okay. 10. Wow. I'm not doing it because it seems like I can't get it to be smaller than this. Wow. Wow. Okay, let me see if I can find another shape that I can morph into a circle.
Okay, so just I think it wouldn't be possible. So what you can do is you can just go by that.
Mm, okay. So I guess we just use this like that. A bit too big than we wanted, but we can manage. So using the technique I used earlier, I'll duplicate these. Yeah. Make sure that they have the same space dividing them. I select the three of them and then go to the alignment section at the top and then tap on evenly distribute space. You realize that now everything is evenly distributed for me. I'm going to make this the first circle quite to make sure to convey the message that the first is on the first design. Okay, let me make this two a bit lighter. Okay, so there we have it. I think because of time, this might be we might only be able to design the first page. So back to the image, you realize that there's some yellowish orangish buttons beside them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this button down here, which probably means next. Let me see if I'll find it in the icon side. Forward. Okay, this circular one. Okay, I see. Okay, so I finally found the icon I was looking for. Next, tapped on it, brought it down here. Now I just drag it to the position I want it to be. I want it to be in alignment to the three circles. Yes.
We are not seeing your screen.
Oh.
We can only see the photo book.
Can you see my screen now?
Okay, it's cool now.
Yeah, so I went to the icon I tapped on the icon to search next to show the icon I needed to use, and I selected the icon with the arrow pointing to my right. So yeah, it landed on my design screen. Now I just have to position it in the way I want it. So I think this is okay for me now. If you look here, the image, realize that the button it has a linear gradient of yellow and a darker shade of yellow. So back to Wizard. You can see my screen, right? Kelvin, you can see my screen. Okay, so back to Wizard. We go to the field section, the field side under the style section. Okay, I have to drag this up a bit. Yeah. So I'll change this to orangish yellow. I think this is okay. This is good enough. So we have our next button. And then let me drag this down a bit. select this, align them in the middle, make sure they are all center aligned, then drag them down. Okay, it looks good enough. Okay, so we are going to put a search icon button or button here. Go to the icon section and then type search. Okay, so I select this and then it drops it on my screen for me. I go back and then reposition it as I want it to be. Okay, good. So I just changed the color. Let me see the color code for this. Since I already have a color in mind, I'll just copy the color code from the first icon, right? As you can see me do here on my screen. Then I go back to the... Wow, it even just filled it easily for me. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to copy and then tap on it. And then it filled it for me. So we are good to go with the first design. Let's look at it. So this is our first design. You have Find Your Best Hotel. You have the search bar and the button here, the filter button, but we decided to make it a search button. And then we have the images here, the name of the images, the 4 dots down here, and then the button, the forward button, which we've done here. So in your spare time, you can redesign this or choose here. Yeah. Yes, as I was saying, in your spare time, you can choose to redesign the design we just did or go on to Dribbble or Behance to find different designs or different images and try to replicate them in Wizard. That's how you can improve your skill sets, or what you learn here in Wizard. You can only improve your skill or your knowledge by practicing. It's very important to practice, because if you don't practice, you won't remember what you learned. Okay, thank you, Kelvin. I see Kelvin duplicated my screen. So, Kelvin, I'm looking at time. That's why it's almost 2. That's why I'm thinking of just probably pausing here or something. Okay. So, really...
Okay. If there's anything you can do to make up for the remaining time.
Okay, alright. Then I'll try to do this. I'll try to do this as fast as possible. Since my people are not really interacting, I don't know if they are getting it or they are not. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that they're understanding, but... Okay, let's move on to the next screen. So we title this as the detailed page. But as I'm doing this, once this session ends, if you have any questions, you can connect with me through my social media pages that I mentioned earlier, which is Behance and LinkedIn. Or you can contact Kelvin. I'm in the group too. You can ask your questions in the group as well. Okay. So I'm deleting everything on here now. So this is the detail page where when you tap on a particular image, it becomes bigger. No, don't delete. No, Kelvin. Don't delete them. Yeah, I'm coming to use one of them. Thank you. So I'll just delete this and this. And then this. But I'm using the image. Okay. So, as you can see here, realize that one of the pictures have expanded. This is the second design we are doing. One of the pictures has expanded and then it has the details down here. So I'm going to expand the first image. Yeah, I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible so we can beat time. Yeah. Okay. And this time the background is white. So yeah, I know the color code of white, so I'll just type it, which is FFFFFFF. Yeah. Now I'm good to go.
Jacqueline, please.
Yes.
I'm not seeing your project screen.
Wow. Can you see it now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I expanded one of the images and then I changed the background color to white. I think the border here is a bit rounded. Let me see if I can make it more rounded. Yeah. Okay, you can see what I'm doing, right? I'm making the radius of the image, the border of the image rounder. Okay. Okay, so if you look here, you realize there's this thing on top of it, so being overlaid on it. So I'll add that shape here. I get the shape. And I'll just choose this and see if I can make it work. Okay. Let me bring this up here. This looks a bit rounder. Okay. So we have this. I have to change the color to white. Once again, I know the color code, so I won't waste my time doing it. So I just enter the code and then I'm good to go. If you realize, you see that it has a bit of a shadow at the background, which helps us distinguish that this is on top and it's floating. It's a different thing from the background. Okay, so now I'll put a text on it. Let me duplicate this text. Go here. Press and hold Alt, or depending on which one. Let me make it bigger.
Please. I have a question. Do I have to ask now or should wait on that?
Ask as I'm doing it, because we don't really have time here. Ask.
Okay, so with the shadow,
Mm-hmm.
with the shadow,
Mm-hmm.
is it automatically applied?
Is it?
Is it automatically applied or you have to do it yourself?
Okay, so it's not automatically applied to everything, but some of the shapes, as you can see, has shadows already. So the ones that don't have the shadows, you can do it manually. And the ones that do, you can just choose to modify the shadows if it's not to your taste, or if it's not as you want it to be. Okay, so I hope your question has been answered.
Yes, please.
Okay, alright, sure. So let me make this a bit bolder. Okay, so this text is bold. Now I'm duplicating this. I hope you remember the method I used to duplicate. Okay, a bit smaller. And make it normal, regular.
Yeah, Alt option.
Yes. Okay. So get text. Oh, then I have to set it. So you can fill it with your text. Okay. I guess, and then it goes on and on and on. Since I don't have the Lorem Ipsum plugin here, I'll just leave it at this. And then I'll add the button. If you look here, you realize there's a button, a book now button here. I'll ignore this, the starting from $75 because of time. Then I'll just put the button here. Okay, so let me see if I can use this button. Oh. Okay, let me just use this button. I'll make it bigger and more visible. How do this? Want to use squash. The time is okay. Then I'll change the text to what's here? Book now. So to change the text, I have to double tap the text in the button. Then I'll type what I need to type. So and you can see that it's a bit too small. So I'll tap on the button and go to the text properties. Then increase the text size. Here. So let me leave it at 15. No, 15 is still too small. So I'll leave it at 16. I'm sure we can all see the text in the here. So there we have it. Thank you, Kelvin. The design for our simple hotel booking app. Now, I can take it a step further by connecting them so that when you click on the image, it actually moves to the next page. So what I'll do is I'll click on the interact tab. Seems like you have 2 minutes. Interact tab, sorry. And then here you can see that I can choose any of the elements to create an interaction for. So in this case, I'm choosing the first image. So yeah, when I connect it, I get the details. For now, I'll just leave it at none. We are done with our design. So what I'm going to do now is preview it and see how it will look or how it looks. Yeah, so this is our design. When I tap on it, you realize that it moves to the next page. Yes, so this is it for today. If you want to go back to the editable design, just click on this to go back. And then it goes back to our design. So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the session. If you have any more questions, you can, as I said earlier, contact me through my social media handles or type to the group or just connect with me through Kelvin. Either way is work. I'm done with this for now. So if you have any questions, you can let me know. Kelvin, I'm done.
Thanks. Already time. It's 1:59, so I'll just wrap up things up. any other conversation can be done in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Okay, so Jacqueline, thanks a lot, and all of you, thanks a lot for your time, and we hope to engage in other sessions or
yes.
let's say lessons. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll see you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.